All right, we see for sale signs all over the place right now across Southeast Louisiana. And if you're thinking about joining that number, selling your home, there are a few things that you need to know because this could also generate taxes, but there are some ways to reduce that tax bill. Joining us now is Kimberly Washington. And Kimberly, what is the first thing that somebody needs to know if they do plan on maybe selling their home right now in the midst of this market?
Right. Of course, if you're thinking about selling your home, the first thing you do want to know is get an idea as your cost basis, the amount of money that you actually paid for the property, any improvements that you made throughout time, because of course that can reduce the amount of gain that you have to report. You do want to identify whether or not you qualify for certain tax exclusions and tax breaks. You do want to talk to someone and create some tax strategies to reduce the amount of taxes that you may need to report on your tax return.
So what tax breaks are available?
Right. A lot of people may not know this, but one, you want to definitely look into the gain exclusion. This will be the case, of course, if you lived in the property 2 out of 5 years, you may qualify. And so in the case that you do qualify, you can exclude up to $500,000 if you're married, filing joint. And amount is $250,000 of gain, of course, if you are single. But that is a big amount. Of course, you want to be strategic when you're thinking about selling your home.
Just question, should that be more than 2 years? Like, or just the minimum of
At the minimum of 2 years.
2 years.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So what about those who maybe aren't eligible for these exclusions? What should they know?
So a couple of different things that you do want to know when it comes to maybe you're not eligible, or maybe you may have a prorated gain. Maybe you sit in a home less than 2 years. You do want to know about capital gains. Capital gains just simply mean that, of course, you're going to get a lower amount of taxes when it comes to selling an asset such as a home. Keep in mind that it does depend, of course, on your taxable income overall, but the amounts range from 0% to 20%. So that is something else you may want to consider, of course, if you're selling your home too.
All right, this is the word that makes me cringe, might make you cringe. Documents.
Documentation.
What documentation do you need for all of this?
Right. So the biggest thing, of course, your title company is going to provide you with the HUD statement. It's going to have a lot of information. Of course, your CPA or whoever you're using to do your taxes, they can use most of that information. But for you yourself, you do want to document, especially if you have large improvements to the home throughout time while you're living there, because all of these different documents and expenses could reduce your gain. So kind of keep that in mind, especially if you're thinking that you're going to be selling your home, of course, in the next couple of years or even in a short-term period as well.
Yeah, keep those receipts.
Yes, keep those receipts and document. Yes.
All right, Kim Washington, thank you so much as always for joining us.